Welcome back to Views with Hughes and Jennifer News. This is Jerome Hughes, and the story of the hour. Nerdrotic is slamming Bob Iger as a liar. So let's go ahead and get right into the video. Basically, this is coming from Friday Night Tights, where they talked about what happened after the shareholders call and everything, where Bob Iger explained plans, as well as a recent interview that Bob Iger did with Variety on where he was asked about the audience reaction of what is woking. But, well, as I said in my last video, Bob Iger basically stated that he didn't like the word, and he also stated how the fans don't know what the word actually means. So let's go ahead and get into the video as recorded from Nerdrotic on Friday Night Tights, along with a few other panels.
We don't know the meaning of the word woke, everyone. And
really?
Yeah, it's like we've never heard this argument before, but man, this is the final word because it comes from a 73-year-old former weatherman who just figured out gaming is popular with kids about a month ago. Thanks. When he was asked, unironically, I forgot, it was like a New York Times thing. We all got video out of it. It's when he said that there wasn't enough supervision for the POC director.
Yes.
So he was asked unironically, like about woke. Like somebody brought it up, and it wasn't a joke, and he responded to it, and that's where he responded saying, "Hey, we don't want to be political, but I don't see certain things as political. I see it as right and wrong. I am the Martin Luther King of grooming children."
Oh, jeez. He continues to say these things like, we're not concerned with political ideology. That's not us. We're just concerned with storytelling. But if we can, help acceptance and things like that along the way, then that's good. Bob Iger has said multiple times that he feels like some of the more radical they're doing in terms of gender affirmation, like all this stuff, he thinks it's just as important as opposing the Nazis in World War II, as supporting the civil rights movement in the 60s. Like, he is on record saying that multiple times. So when he says that we're not concerned with political ideology, he thinks that it's not political or there's no agenda there. And it's just lie after lie from this dude.
Yeah. And then Chloe Cole rolls in and fucking destroys him.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
It shows how much of an indictment it is on his legacy. Like, obviously this stuff is in his head now. And this is the second proxy fight. There might be another one. I'm not sure. I doubt it'll succeed either. But the fact that he's been fighting to justify his existence there with a bunch of yes men around him and women who don't give a crap. This guy has overseen the destruction of two of the biggest IPs the world has ever seen, and neither of whom he created and had any part in the creation. He bought. One was questionably not at its peak, but Marvel was. Marvel was absolutely at its peak when they bought it. And they officially took it over. I think it was after the Avengers, because Avengers is still a Paramount film. Kevin Feige officially took it over, booting like Perlmutter at Civil War, and it's been downhill ever since. And people voted to keep this guy's job. And it's like, fine. I'm fine. I'm glad he got everything he wants. In an interview with at Disney HQ, which I'm sure was really authentic, the CEO addressed Elon Musk's repeated complaints about Disney going woke. It's not just Elon Musk, but also said that his company cares more about entertainment than making content with a message.
Could have fooled a lot of people.
Yep. I mean, that's what the business is now, and that's why there's YouTubers. That's why there's Little Platoon and Ryan and everybody here, because they just come out and fucking lie. It's all bullshit. It's all staged. It's all. For those of you who listen to the call, Chris and I had to bow out because it was an automated question and answer, and the voice asking the question sounded automated, sounded AI.
So they vetted all those questions.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
someone read them, said this is an okay thing to ask Iger, and then he was more robotic than the robotic voice.
Yes.
I'm sure that was all pre-recorded too.
Yes, 100%.
Well, it is. And his victory speech was probably written 2 or 3 days prior to the vote. And yes, they are the ones who leaked out the information. Nothing will happen to him, but it is against the rules. But then he read his answers. So a robot asked a question, and then he read his prepared answer. Thankfully, those 2 calls in the beginning came in and just roasted the shit out of them. Yeah. Can't wait to work with Bob Iger and... Oh, wait, hang on. Sorry. Musk had driven it upon himself to wage a war against Iger's vision of Disney. The ex-CEO, who repeatedly called out Iger and Disney for being too woke, posting on April Fool's Day that he was joining the company as the chief DEI officer. Barely beating out Ryan Kindle, by the way. Can't wait to work with Bob Iger and Kathleen Kennedy to make their content more woke. the mogul wrote, even the linguini. This apparently was Musk's attempt at a funny joke.
Oh, it was
so
funny.
like the person that's writing this doesn't even know the South Park thing.
No.
Right? So they have no understanding or reference. That's why they're like clueless to it. And even by putting that sentence in parentheses, you have revealed the type of article that this is, and that no one should take you seriously.
Yep.
I slightly prefer it though, because quite often what you'll get is in outlets like Vanity Fair, you will get them taking very obvious jokes as though they're literally true, which is, I think, worse. Like it's like say like Donald Trump will say something which is obviously supposed to be funny. I'm going to be a dictator on day one, and then the entirety of the media ecosystem says, "Oh my God, Donald Trump is literally telling us he's going to be a dictator." It's like, oh, he's quite clearly telling a joke. So
All right. So Nerdrotic, he's basically stating that the main beef people have is that Disney seems to be putting its political and social beliefs front and center ahead of just making great films that everyone can enjoy. Now, Nerdrotic also added that this isn't just about adding diverse characters or storylines and stuff, which many people do welcome, but it's about how some feel these efforts are being forced, turning storytelling into political lecturing on social issues. All right. And then Nerdrotic even shared how critics argue that this shift could turn off a big chunk of Disney's audience who just want to escape into a magical movie, not a political woke sermon. All right. Nerdrotic and others on the panel discuss how one of the voices making waves in this debate is Chloe Cole, who's a detransition patient advocate who's not at all happy with how Disney handles medical issues related to gender transitioning. Gender transitioning. Whew. And Chloe Cole has also been vocal about her own experiences where she said that Disney supports employees through their gender transition, but doesn't offer the same support for those who regret their decision and wants to detransition. Okay. Now, at a legal panel, she called out Disney for this, arguing that it's not just unfair, but it's also harmful. And Nerdrotic also noted how her bold stance also sparked a bigger discussion about whether big companies like Disney should even be involved in such personal medical decisions. Now, the controversy isn't just a storm in a teacup, and Nerdrotic, like many other YouTubers like myself, showed how it's got people asking serious questions about the role of entertainment companies in social debates. And should a movie studio like this influence the public opinion on political or social matters? Well, some say yes, but that companies have the responsibility to use their platforms for good. But others like myself feel that, these topics have no place in kids' movies or even the theme parks, or when it's in the areas of simply trying to entertain the people and the kids. And that Disney's job should be to entertain, not advocate. Okay. And you can advocate, but make sure that it's in the realms where your core customers, the parents and stuff that support your company, are in agreement with it, are in alignment with it. All right. And Nerdrotic also noted that as this debate keeps going on, it's also clear that Disney's approach to being woke is a bad path to navigate. Okay. Nerdrotic is also showing how the company is trying to be progressive and inclusive, but it can't happen without Disney losing the magic that made it beloved in the first place. Now, how Disney handles this balancing act could set the tone for other companies in the entertainment sector and beyond. And the issue with that is the simple fact that, Bob Iger basically is a liar. Okay. He stated that the company's focused on entertainment first, and there's no political messaging in it. When in reality, it was recently announced that we have a female Silver Surfer. Okay. Why not just the original Silver Surfer as Norman Rad and everything? And you decided to go ahead and it's woke because of the fact that they're taking one character that was originally male and they gender swapped it and stuff. I know they didn't gender swap it themselves, but it came from the comics and stuff that didn't do well back in 2010 and stuff. All right. And when you do that, you're trying to do that as to justify your continuance of the political messaging. And therefore, basically fooling the shareholders, okay, as well as other investors. All right. And Bob Iger really thinks they're stupid or they're naive and everything. But it's YouTubers like us that's coming out there and sharing these things so that way they'll be well informed, as well as the fact that they could be able to make their own decision with their investments. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Also, be sure to include any other details on this topic you may have that I did not touch up on. If you enjoy what I shared in this video, go ahead, smash the like button, and share far wide across social media. And if you haven't done so already and you enjoyed all the content I put out there, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification so that way you be notified of future uploads and updates. Till then, peace.